Welcome back to Midwest Fruit Jungle. Just wanted to take a look at my Acerola. I've been growing tropical fruit trees for 9 years, and this is one of my older ones, planted back in, I think 2018. Let me see. Yeah, 2018. So this thing is 5 years old since I bought it, and it has been very vigorous for me. Barbados cherries, I believe it's native to the Caribbean, in that area, so it loves well-draining soil, lots of rain. It's not temperate, it needs tropical conditions, or at least very little freeze. It's not very freeze resistant. It is a very hardy tree though, and I've seen it can be planted in Florida, Arizona, California, but we're in zone 6, so a little too cold for that. But this tree is very bushy. It's more like a bush almost for me, and you can prune it to be more like a tree, but I want to keep this as compact as possible, so I've pruned it back usually every year. And what I'll do, I'll kind of trim off all of this sort of external to keep it more compact and closed. And I also like to trim sort of the inside of the canopy so light can get in. You know, when you got all these cross branches coming through, the light can't get down low here. Another thing about this tree is it loves lots of water, but it also is drought tolerant, so it can handle periods without water well. You know, it's got these kind of glossy, thicker leaves, and you can see down here too, they're very fibrous roots. They fill up the pot. So this is really root bound right now. It's been in this pot for, I think, a year or two, but it is doing phenomenal. And I've noticed with being root bound, it's put out much more flowers, much more fruit. So you can see, I mean, there's flowers on every branch, fruit all over. There's probably 40 fruit forming on this thing right now. Just lots of flowers, and there's new growth all over too, that lighter color. Come around and take a look. This thing has been fruiting all summer for me. It started flowering in January or February it was, and even fruited in early spring, and it's been putting out flowers ever since. I think just the stress of being root bound has kind of put it into flowering mode, and it's really helped maintain its bushiness and compact size. So I know, you know, this thing, when I first got it, it grew, it more than doubled in the first year, so it can grow fast if you let it. But I really like it as just this about 5-6 foot bush. And so this tree really likes lots of sun too. It can handle full sun. No matter where you put it, it's going to be happy. I have it underneath several other trees, so it doesn't get as much sun, yet it's still really happy. The fruit ripens really well. It's really sweet. So in terms of fertilizing, I do not. I maybe fertilize this thing once every few months. I don't really stay on top of it like I should, but it's doing well, and I think for something like this that's root bound, you might want to give it a little more heavy feeds because it's filled up its container so much. But I can't remember, I think it was in April the last time I fertilized, and I use either a liquid like fish emulsion or I have powdered like bone meal and different things that I use. But one thing about the fruit, I don't think there's any ripe fruit on it right now, but once they get to size, they sort of turn like a lighter green, then orange, then to that red, and once they're ripe, they almost turn dull a little bit, and they become like deep maroon, almost purple. That's how you know they're ripe and they're really good. These things were actually used as a vitamin C supplement. Back when they didn't make it synthetically, they'd extract it from the fruits because I think it's like 100 times more vitamin C and by weight in one of these than to an orange. So you have to eat a lot of these to match an orange, but you're getting a lot more vitamin C in each fruit. So overall, this thing is really happy. Even when it's so root bound, it does great in dry and wet conditions, loves full sun. It's been one of the easiest container fruit trees, and I really recommend it for people growing in colder climates. It does really great indoors. So thank you all for watching. You can check out more content on my Instagram. You take care and happy gardening.